Oh my, oh hello. It's Ribcage Day! Yay for the Ribcage. Hello, 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 welcome. First of all, I'm sick, kind of. Kind of, not really. So first and foremost, there's so much to do, so much to see. Let's not take it. Let's take it to the front streets. We gotta talk about the Ribcage today. So hello, welcome, welcome. I could explain all the things to you of who I am, and I'm sure none of you care about all of that. But more importantly, if you are here to learn anatomy, I'm here to make it as easy as possible for you. I am Crystal K. I love sharing information for free, and I'm here to help you out today if you want to learn about all of this. The cage. So before we do anything, white screen. We gotta learn from Proko first. So if you happen to want to learn anatomy, once upon a time ago, there was a guy named Proko who made a course a long time ago, and he's great. I love him. If you are taking the anatomy course, basically Proko's our teacher, and I'm gonna just be doing the homework with you. And we're gonna do it every single week. So every Sunday, check back in, and we'll be on another part of the body at some point. We're gonna have a great time when we get to hands, and I'm gonna break in half. But real quick, before I do play this video, just to let you know, I have already completed the course. I finished it and took the last 5 years trying to finish it. So I'm here as your study buddy to basically help you break down all of this junk because it's a lot to learn. And I'm here to make it super, super easy with 3D models, accessible notes, and all kinds of stuff. Again, Proko's course is great. Go grab it, link in the description. But I'm here to just make your journey a little bit easier and hopefully a little cheaper. Because we all love free information, right? We all love premium content. So anyway, without further ado, I'm going to settle down the jams for a second, and let's get into it. I'll be on the sidelines, but I'll mostly be quiet so you can just enjoy the lesson, and then we'll get started. Proko time in 3, 2, 1. Oh my god, somebody's phone went off. I'll be quiet.
In the last episode, we learned the anatomy of the ribcage. If you haven't seen that one yet, make sure you don't miss it. In this episode, I'll show you how to draw the forms of the ribcage step by step. I always like to start my drawings with the biggest shape first. In this case,
beautiful
the
specimen.
egg-like shape. It's thinner at the top where the neck attaches, and thickest about 1/3 from the bottom. Try not to draw the entire shape with one stroke. Construct the shape with many segments. Analyze the angle.
How are we not
each
talking
segment
about this
as you
model
go.
right now, though?
Constructing
They're
a shape
stunning.
from many angles like this
Oh my God.
allows you to visualize the shape and spend more time making sure it's the correct shape, rather than doing it in one stroke, hoping your hand lands in the right spot. You can see how, with this shape, I established the angle of the top plane, front plane, the angle between the corners of the ribcage, and the curve of the bottom and back. I'm being specific about each section of the shape while maintaining the tilt and the width to height relationship of the overall shape. The top plane of the ribcage tilts forward, so keep that in mind as you try to visualize the planes. Find the bottom of the sternum. Remember, it's about halfway between the pit of the neck and the bottom of the ribcage. The cartilage that defines the thoracic arch starts from the bottom of the sternum. So from there, I'll extend the thoracic arch shape while considering the way perspective would affect that shape. I like to relate one side to the other and make sure that the angle of that line follows the angle of the front plane as if this was a box. I'll do a simplified version of the ribcage after this to show you what I mean. This part of the bottom plane is covered up, but I'll ghost it in anyway so I can visualize these forms better. Indicate the edges of the sternum, curving over the front plane. A little notch in here for the xiphoid process. And we need an indication for the edge between the front plane and side plane. This is like the edge on the box. Everything on the front or back plane will be at this angle, like a box in perspective.
Easy.
Let me show you what I mean when I talk about the ribcage being a box.
He said perspective,
We'll think
not
of
the
the
dreaded
front
words.
of the ribcage as this flat plane that's rotated slightly to the left and downward. The widest part of the ribcage is 1/3 from the bottom. So from there, I'll extend a plane inward.
You got all
Still
that?
part of the front plane, just getting narrower. From that, we can complete the box with a side plane and a top plane. So we have the big simplified volume of the ribcage, and we can just draw the shape of the thoracic arch right on it.
Easy.
Start by finding the bottom of the sternum, and then some major angles downward toward the corners. And since the thoracic arch is an opening, we can see the bottom edge on the far side. It will be parallel to this other bottom edge.
I would definitely eat that. I would eat my bones. Boiled eggs are my
Let's clean
favorite.
up this back side. Okay, so that's the front of the ribcage.
He's
The major
human.
structure from the back is very similar, but the wedge shape at the spine is a bit tricky. So I want to show you how to do that.
Yeah, tell me all the good stuff in the back. Oh my god!
Start the major shape
Oh
in the
my
same
God.
way I do for the front, constructing that shape in parts.
That
This bottom edge of the back plane,
trapezius though.
I'm observing the angle here on his back and trying to imagine what it would look like if it was a box.
Mm-hmm.
Find the edge between the side plane and back plane. At this point, it should look like a simple three-dimensional form. Notice that even though he is leaning back and toward us a bit, we're not seeing the top plane of the ribcage. That's because the top plane tilts forward. So in most back poses, the top plane will be hidden behind the back plane. The 12th rib actually connects to the spine up here and then angles downward. So I like to define that edge.
Number 12.
It's the same edge that
I
we
forgot
ghosted in
that.
from the front view in the previous drawing.
One
It's a
sec after yours.
continuation of the thoracic arch as it curves around the bottom corner of the ribcage and comes back up to connect to the spine. Okay, this is the part I wanted to go over. Remember in the previous video, I mentioned that the back plane has a concave wedge that holds the spine. To cut this wedge shape out, we can think of 3 planes, 1 center plane and 2 side planes. The center plane just follows the curvature of the thoracic vertebrae. On each side of this center plane, we'll have an inward-facing side plane. I want to point out that this S-curve is highly exaggerated by the trapezius muscle. The spine will curve a little bit, but the curve we're seeing here is the muscle pushing in.
It's
past the
beautiful!
center.
Oh my
Thoracic
god.
spine rotation does affect the ribcage, but not nearly as much as
I
this
hope we get
pose
to look
might
at this
suggest.
picture again for the scapular
Okay,
lesson.
let's get back to that wedge.
Please.
This might just look like 4 vertical lines to you,
No.
but try to imagine the cross contour of the surface. This plane angles like this, and this plane angles like this.
Yep.
This is part of the back plane, and this is also part of the back plane. If a trail of ants marched across this surface, that ant trail would be the cross contour line. Around the side plane, across the back plane,
It's a good looking pencil.
down the wall of the wedge, across the center, then back up the other wall of the wedge, and across the rest of the back plane. Keep practicing drawing the forms until you have them memorized.
We're gonna get
If
all
you're
into
struggling
that
with
today.
perspective, go back and re-watch my video on structure.
Boy, howdy, I'm so
Practice
excited.
drawing boxes in perspective. Once you can easily draw a box, then you can start making that box more complicated by cutting out wedges.
Yeah.
I hope you guys enjoyed this lesson. If you want to see more drawing examples, go to proko.com/anatomy. I have 8 more examples, which serve as the answers to the assignment from the last lesson. You'll also find 3D models of the ribcage and the simplified ribcage that you can rotate and draw from any angle. That's proko.com/anatomy. Giveaway!
Whoa.
If you'd like to win a free membership to the Premium Anatomy course, go to facebook.com.
Oh my god, I would love to, but it doesn't exist anymore, so this isn't relevant. Oh no.
I'll choose a random winner next Wednesday.
And that's it. How unfortunate. But thank you! Alrighty. So hello there. First of all, Jams. Where are they? Oh, I turned the music off. Come back to me. There we go. Alright. We got Jams. Okay, so 2 things. First of all, I am by no means trying to replace Proko. Proko is phenomenal. I love them very much, and I wish them all the success in the world. However, my entire purpose for starting this channel and this journey was I wanted to learn anatomy, and a lot of the things that Proko offered at the time of making the course unfortunately does not exist anymore. For example, this Facebook group. Can't really get Facebook feedback anymore. You can't really go to his website and get the feedback that you need to learn this stuff. Secondly, I've wanted to share a lot of the resources that I learned from Proko, but this course is rather expensive. So, in it, if anything, I am not a replacement. Go buy the course if you have the ability to do so. But hopefully, my job is to make things a little bit more affordable, because it's a hard game out here right now, y'all. It's tough. So, 2 things. 1, this is again not my first rodeo. This is my 2nd attempt at this lesson. So, 5 years ago I did these. I'm not mad at them. I'm pretty happy with these two. These are by far the strongest ones, I think. Then we work our way down in order of last to first. They are definitely more noticeably less detailed as I got here. We got like Superman over here. And then we get to the start. So this is, I think, the first one I did. And they're not bad. They're fine. They're completely fine. But what I'm hoping to do today is to clean up some of the ones that are not as strong. We're only going to do one today, because unfortunately, like I said, I am sicky poo. So I'm not going to go all in. I'm tired. I'm sleepy. But what I'm hoping to do is give you a bare bones based tutorial walkthrough of how to basically get yourself started. If you watch the tutorial Proko offers, that's a fantastic start. We're just going to do it together. Let's see. Minimizing all of this. The other wonderful thing that I would like to offer you is I basically am taking active notes while I'm doing all of the stuff in this course. So every single lesson in here, I'm updating live every single week. I will update live as we get to each new lesson, so you can get this at my Patreon. Only $7 if you want. And also, it didn't pop up yet, but if you type !Patreon, you can get the link. You have to type it in the chat though to get it. And I will also drop the link only once or twice during the stream, so you can have access to it as well. Where is it? There it is. Thank you, Streamlabs. Streamlabs doing his job. Alrighty, so boom, there's one more thing I'll throw at you. And then last but not least, if you happen to have information that you would like to share, I do have a Discord, and you can get all of this stuff again, access to typing all of these things. I hate throwing links at you, but I have to do it at least once, and then I'll forget about it forever. So you can also drop your info if you have books to add to the library in the Discord. There's so much to do here. So in tandem with that, here's the lesson that I was going to try to start with. The 3D lesson that he made. Again, I'm not a replacement for Proko, but in tandem with this journey, I also am trying to learn Blender. I also have to remember all the crap I forgot, because it's been 5 years. So I went ahead and I decided I'm going to try to model all of the assets in Blender to not only just help me learn, but to help everybody here learn. So these are not your fancy 3D models with the full-on skeleton. This is a very primitive, bare-bones structure that you can use and rotate fully in 360, whatever you want. And the nice thing about Blender is, even though I have no idea how to use it, it is free for everyone to access. If you have no idea how to 3D software, you don't have to learn it. You just have to learn how to basically rotate or orbit the model, and that's plenty. It is currently not rigged. You can't move it. It's just a looky thing for now. As I get better, though, the models hopefully will improve and we can all benefit from them. So anyway, there's so much here that you have no excuse not to learn anatomy. So tell people, if you are trying to learn anatomy, get over here, because that's going to be so much easier. I'm going to make it stupid easy for you, so you have no excuse. Anyway, oh no, somebody else is sick outside. Oh god, cough. Oh dear, alright, well, it's dry in Cali here. The last mandatory requirement that I have to tell you about is that I have cats. And I need you to know about their existence. And they just both happen to be in bed with me right now. So here they are. There's a Mochi and a Pepper right now. Pepper's on the right, he's my son, and then my daughter Mochi on the left. I am obligated by law to tell you about these two children in my life. So there you go. Quota met. Alright, bye children. They're kissing butts. So anyway, other than that, let's get started. I will probably do a quicker stream today. We're gonna do just a talk through, a little tracing, and then I'll do an example, and then we'll jump off and you can carry on your merry day. Oh, and the last thing. So I was watching Vox Machina. Hold on, spoilers. Get out of here, Blender. So every week as well, when we're learning the lessons, I'm gonna pick the top 4 pictures that Proko offers for each pack. So if you subscribe, you get to participate in the poll, and basically you guys decide what I draw. I'm letting you decide on this revisit, because I've already done this. This is review for me. So, you can donate too if you want, but you don't have to. I would be grateful though. Broke is a joke right now, so help out if you can. Anyway, so many plugs, I'm sorry. Anyway, the point is, today, we have a tie, 50-50. So what I was gonna say is we could do, this one is, for whatever reason, negative space. I don't know why Chrome makes pictures weird. Sometimes they're normal, sometimes they're not. But I think it's a toss-up between these two. There are, I think, 8 pictures total that Proko offers you for this lesson. The ribcage is robust. There's a lot to choose from, but we're only picking the top 4 today. So what I would strongly recommend is that you, of course, do the full lesson, and then we pick apart all the questions, ask later, and you can offer me all these things for feedback and critiques. I'm just here to help you. So whatever you need. If you want to learn anatomy, you got to put in the work, you got to put in the time. I'm just here to make your journey a little bit easier. That's all. So it looks like we have a tie between stretchy oblong potato lady and this lady who's trying to catch some watermelons. I don't know. But I by no means have any influence over the pictures we pick. But I really hoped we got this one. I'm dying, sorry. I'm so glad we got this one. One sec. Excuse me. Oh, I'm dying. Okay. Sorry about that. I get excited. Anatomy makes me happy. So what the only last thing I will say for this journey, as I'm going through this course, what I decided I'm gonna do is I'm splitting this lesson, each lesson basically up into 2 parts. The first one is we do the blender lesson, which is not necessarily a requirement for you guys, but a helpful thing for me to learn the 3D model thing that we're drawing. The simplified form that Proko asks us to draw, I'm gonna try to model it as best I can. I'm not perfect, I'm trying my best, but this is my first time really using Blender. I feel pretty good that I got this far. And these are all, of course, accessible on my Patreon for like only $7 if you want. So there's that, and then also the second part will be the actual drawing section, which is what we're all here for. So the gestures, the tracings, all that good juicy stuff. So this lesson has gestures, and I'm so excited. I love gesture. I love gesture. I love anatomy so much. So the goal for at least part 1 of this gesture lesson is I'm going to do like a recreation of the lesson that I did before, which is take one of the ones that are maybe not as strong. This one I feel really good about. I'm probably not going to touch it. I can confidently say though, now that I've gotten through all the body, I can look at all the details and go, ooh, I know those are hamstrings now. I know where the calves attach. I know where the serratus muscles go. Oh, it's so nice to have juicy detail, and I can help you with that. But because this is a ribcage lesson and this one still holds up, I think this is less beneficial for me to redo because it still pretty much lines up. Excuse me. However, which one is it? Yes, this one. I'm very, very happy with this gesture, but the ribcage is off. It is not correct. So that, in tandem with, I think I'll give you guys a tracing just to give you an introduction to finding the ribcage, getting your X-ray 3D goggles on to see what it looks like underneath the skin, and then actually doing a gesture of something separate. So how I can help you most today. So yeah, I think we're gonna redo this gesture. Again, the assignment is to do a anatobean or a robobean / simplified just bean of the ribcage and the pelvis and the spine, attaching them, the beautiful snake. So you don't have to sculpt the whole body. That was just me because I'm extra. But if I have the energy in me to do it today, we're gonna basically do this one again. I think the gesture is fine. Where's the picture? Yeah, I think this gesture is okay. She's a little bit leaner than that. She is a stick. God, she's gorgeous. Fantabulous model I'm looking at. Just off the gate. But yeah, we might do this one again. So, anyway, rambling aside, I'm sorry, I have ADHD. Woohoo. The mission for today is we're going to trace this guy. I'll talk you through how I find it. You probably can see it on this guy. It's a little more obvious here. The ribcage is a little bit easier to see here. And then we'll do a full-on gesture of this lovely lady, and I'll probably be a little quieter second half. And then the last thing, we have one more lesson dedicated to the ribcage if I have the energy to do it. Maybe we'll add another depending on people's feedback, but for now, we just have one more lesson to stop on this ribcage train. We'll probably do this lady, and my goal for this course is to take one gesture and flip it. I'm gonna try to draw a gesture mirrored from imagination. That's how I'm challenging myself this run through. Because I'm just reviewing. So I'm gonna torture myself by doing a hard thing later and try to flip this monster facing the other way. Yes, it's really helpful to see the model, but also, can you turn the model around in your brain and still know what muscles are on the other side of the camera that you can't see? That's my test after finishing this course. You are not forced to do that. You can challenge yourself later, but only after you feel comfortable doing that. I'm gonna do that for next stream, hopefully when I'm feeling a little better and less sniffly. So, anyway, on with the show. Sorry for all the talking. There's a lot that has to be said, but after that, then it's just chill vibes. So I hope you enjoy your stay. Let's start with the tracing. So let's see. I'm gonna give myself a grape for good luck. Haha. Alright. And of course, ask away. If there's something I did that's like, whoa, that was way too fast, what the heck did you do? Ask me questions all day long. Alright. Sir, you're facing this way. He's like breathing. He's exhaling. Oh no, he's inhaling. Yeah, when you inhale, your ribs expand a little wider. So it's really obvious on this guy. So let's get started. Oh, sneezing. Excuse me. Sorry, couldn't mute in time. Hang on a sec. Okay. Sorry. I hope you enjoy the sound of Sinnoh jazz. Today could have been a quieter stream, but I have to tell you how to ribcage, so sorry. You have to deal with my sniffly voice. Okay. This is gonna be a quicker one, so let's get moving. Ribcage, where is it? Let's find it. I'm gonna keep this guy tiny. Cool. Alright. You should be able to see where it starts. You can kind of tell right here. Why is this coming up when I put my mouse down? No, we're good. Never mind. Alright. I'm gonna see the base of it there. Maybe I'll find a nice egg shape to start with. Base of the ribcage right there. Curves back up. When it gets up here is when it's a little harder, but a couple hints to start with. Here's where the most obvious part of the ribcage is visible. You can kind of see right there. There's a widening back gap here. This little angle should be the same as this angle. The pit of the ribcage right here where the pecs start. They come up and connect beautifully right there. He's really breathing. Actually, it might be a little... A little hint you can use is the ribcage literally is exactly where the pecs are. So the pec line is basically where the start of the ribcage is, and then the neckline is separated by clavicle. And you can't really see it on this guy because he's buff, stud guy. He's got a lot of pec muscle covering this up. But this neck hole is where your ribcage starts. So if you find the neck hole, you can find the top of the ribcage. And from there, it basically curves down. It's not all of this. This is all muscle. Ribcage is a little smaller than that. But it does go right to the skin. You can literally see it. This is serratus muscle. Most of this is bone, and then you might see a little bit of oblique fat coming down here, flanking in the back. This is all good, juicy oblique. From here, I'm going to use this line to tell me where the back of it is. And then I'm guessing. I really don't know exactly, but back of the ribcage. Now just to clean it up. Soften the edges, because if your ribcage was that pointy down there, you would have so many bleeding fractures in your body, your lungs would be broken. Gosh, my nose won't stop today. So sorry. I apologize for being gross. I feel like for the most part though, I'm gonna be quiet later and then I'll just mute so you don't have to hear any of this nasty sniffleage. I just wanted to tell you how to find it and then you're good. Alright, let's take away the picture and see what we get. Kind of. Almost there. Boom. Beautiful. That's basically, I think, a rib cage in there somewhere. And the last thing I might do is just to put the angles on there. Manubrium. All of this gorgeous stuff right here. Why didn't I hire this guy to make Sinnoh music? Alright. Give me a little bit of color. Actually, no, we'll go with the colors I use so it's easier to see. Yeah. There we go. Go off, brother. Alright. That's about Ribcage. Methinks. Quick and dirty Ribcage. Fast as possible. Fast as the West. Let's put a rubber band on it just to make sure we know what the form is. This is rounded. This is flatter. Following this angle. Dives in there.
It's 3:30 p.m.
Oh, is it?
Let's go grab a glass of water. And why don't you go wash your hands?
That sounds great. I just did that. Thank you. I almost never listen to Google, but I appreciate it. There we go, yeah? Something like that. Oh no. Soft light. No, he looks real sunburned. Overlay. Where the heck is it? No, that's even more sunburn. Alright, fine. There he is. Alright. Whew. I'm already sweating. One sec. The fever pitch is kicking in because I'm so excited about anatomy. Thank you, Team Galactic. Okay. Also, please let me know at some point if volume is way too high or I am too loud, too quiet. Let me know. Okay, pausing the vibes for just a second. Let's transition to the main objective. We did our tracing. That looks good, at least on the surface. Maybe this neck hole could be a little bit smaller. I think it would be a little smaller, probably. But for the most part, that's a good starting base. So now, go away now. Yeah. Let's look at this lady here. Yeah. No, I'm sorry, this lady. Here we go. Yeah, we're gonna fix this lady up. Here's round 1. We're gonna do round 2 today. A little bit of a comparison after. I think that'll be fun. So let's see how fast we can get this gesture in, because I want to get some stuff done today. I'm gonna time myself 10 minutes. And I'll show you the timer, don't worry. Okay. Cool. Let's put it here. Let's make sure all of our tools are in order. I can't angle her up, but she is ever so slightly looking up and turning to our left a little bit. She's tilting. Yeah. Sure. Sure. Okay. All right. Round 1. Get out of here. Round 2. Let's try it. Let's see how fast we can get our gesture in, and then we'll get started. Timer starting in 3. Wait, no music? Hang on. Also, temporary sneeze. Come on, body, you can't do this to me. Sneezing is gonna take away my time. It's gonna eat up my inputs. Okay, fine. One more nose session. One sec. Okay, sorry to keep you waiting. I know you're so excited. Alrighty, here we go. Let me just make sure my brushes are all ready to go. Cool. Alrighty. If you are doing this with me, we are starting the timer in 3, 2, 1. Let's see here. Here's the pit. Boob starts here. beautiful line here. Let's see. Kind of just making messes right now. I'll clean it up later. Let me find the belly button. Somewhere there. Find the outside of the hip. There we go. Get that gesture. Alright, let's actually find the rest of her. I think that's a torso. She's a long lady. Lanky lady. Beautiful. Here's where the boobs are, so let's see. Use that to help me find the rest of her. Everything's connected. Pec tells me where the arm goes. Neck is around here somewhere. Halfway out of time, let's start to move into the rest of her. Beautiful neck right here, long neckline. She's tilting her neck this way. Boob line and nice start of the traps coming in here. Deltoid should be somewhere around in here. We'll find the rest of her. Let's get her head in there. Deltoid and chin should be somewhat at the same angle. Now. Side of her head is covered by her arm, but we can still see the gist of her. Chin is not quite profile. Hairline right there. Nose line. Let's find the nose and lock it in. Also, she has no knees or legs. Let's give her some legs. I'm not perfect. I'm already looking at this. This is a little off. We'll adjust accordingly, but this is just to get us started. Let's use the boob to tell me where her knee is. Somewhere like that. Connection lines tell me things. Now I throw myself off. Belly button is not down here. let's see. Belly button's about there. That lines up. Top of the knee. Base of her foot. Soft curves for more feminine. Calf comes in. She's not going to be that curvy because it's more grounded. She's on a flat plane, but the bulge of the calf pokes out. Foot should line up somewhere where the butt cheeks are. Something like that. Again, not perfect. We'll adjust as we need to. Find her second knee. Oh no, this is her second knee, right around here. So first leg. And a lot of this is just guessing until I feel like something lands. I like to usually take more time on a gesture, but I wanted to try timing myself today. I definitely still need practice. Alright, arms. She's lanky, but she's still built. Arm comes a little bit past the elbow, head. And the rest of her other arm, starting a little bit at the same angle as her neck. 1 minute, touch-up time. Hand comes around here. Alright, let's adjust. Let's see what we got. Nice fine shadow line. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Not bad, not bad. Could be better, but it's not bad. I'll take that. Yeah. It could be cleaner, could be more fine-tuned, but considering that I don't often time myself, I feel all right with that. Is she leaning to the camera? Enough. Can I see the base gesture enough to finish it on my own after the model moves? Yes, that's my main objective. I can clean this up later, but I just need to get enough of a rough sketch in there so I can see the fine details myself later. Okay. Let's see. You shouldn't obviously do this if you're drawing a model because you can't take a picture, but I like to... Oh gosh. I'm so sorry, that was disgusting. One sec. The post-nasal drip, I'm so sorry. Okay. No. Disclaimer, I'm sick. Okay. Let's see. How off were we? Oop. No. Time to find out. Hey, you know what? That's not bad. That's actually not bad. I feel alright with that. Sure, there's some things that are off. Her head's a little too low. Proportion-wise, her butt's a little too high. I feel alright with that, though. And of course, we're artists. We're meant to exaggerate certain things. It shouldn't be one-to-one. But that's pretty close. Hot damn. Cool. Alright. So now let's reassess. Let's clean some things up. What is working and what is not? Her chin's way too low, for one. Loomis has it up here. Right at the base of the circle. Her neck is a little bit longer. It's beautiful. Oh god, I always forget the freaking muscle for the name of the neck muscle that pops out when you turn your head. Oh, I can't remember. Well, you know what does remember for me? Tell me. Fancy 3D app that costs money. Don't buy it. Let me buy it for you. I'm gonna go on a limb and say... Why do I always want to say gastrocnemius? It's not. That's your knee muscle. That's your calf muscle. Let's put some meat on this lady. Give me a lady. Oh, it is a lady. Never mind then. Oh god, that's horrifying. Give me more than that. This is a lady? No, it's not. This is a gentleman. Give me lady. There we go. Oh, you're too shy to hide. You're not gonna give me boobs. Is that under tissue? No. Interesting. Alright, well, whatever. This is apparently a lady, but she's very demure. She's an Olympian. Hello? Oh, there we go. Okay, I forget sometimes. What is this called? Sternocleidomastoideus. Say it for me.
Sternal head of sternocleidomastoid muscle.
It's so loud. Oh my god. Sternocleidomastoid is fantastic. I always forget. So we also have this lovely tool as well to help us figure things out if there's a part of the body that you're like, I don't really know what's going on in here. We can look at this. So goodbye for now. We'll be back later. But our mission is not to look at anatomy muscles. We're here to look at bones. So now that I feel like I've got a somewhat decent gesture, let's clean it up a little bit. And then we can put bones inside of it. Ugh, feel another sneeze coming, hang on. The power of sick doesn't want to let me. Oh, you faked me out, you jerk. Okay. She is stretching, so this muscle, this skin is a little concave there. You can see the edge of the ribcage right here, nice and obvious, very, very obvious there. Okay. Forever ago when I took an anatomy class, gesture art class, recommendations of points to look at. Hip to neck pit. Let's see. Let's find it. There it is. Oh, can I catch it? Sorry. Okay. How many times am I gonna get interrupted today? Really should have been a quieter stream. Sorry. Let's see. Okay. First things first. Let's check our work on this midline. It's covered up by a big old sensor box because I can't show you titties. But I think we got pretty close. How close does our midline line up? Beautiful long curve right here. Right down the middle of the boob. Coming in. Actually, it's been more of a curve here than I thought. It's very loose. Curving up a little bit, so then let's see. I'm gonna say the neck pit is right there, so there's a bit more room right in the middle of that. Get that funky bass, dude. From there, clavicle tells me where the rest of my body is. The neck pit. Covered by beautiful pec. Shoulder line isn't in line with this line. Let's see. Belly button's right there. The width of this rib cage. Alright, I just needed to find the start of the rib cage. We'll add a bit more detail to it, but I just needed to see it. Cool. And it follows this lovely line there. Width-wise, our angle of attack about there. Neck is about the same angle, but the shoulders are a little bit higher arched because she's curving. She's leaning towards us. And let's see. I'm also looking at the negative space between her neck and the start of her shoulder. So that might also help inform you, not just the contour line. But does the negative space fit? Her nose and this corner are about the same. Bicep and elbow meet right about there. Placement wise, we got pretty close. Oh, there's a beautiful, beautiful long stretch of delicious tricep right there. Where the bicep and the, I want to say brachialis muscle split. You can kind of see a bit where that deltoid and that connection of bicep happened. It's beautiful. We're here for the rib cage, I know. We'll get back to it. I just want to find everything. Pec becomes boob. Now obviously at this point the model has moved. We had to move on, but we have the luxury of photography. If I were to look at these beautiful bags of sand, I'm looking at a reference right now that doesn't have a sensor block on it. And I can kind of see a bit better, because I do need to see the boobs. They're important. They're not just decoration. Breast tissue is also important for placing muscles. Tells me where the pecs are. So here we go. I see a pec right there. Get that juicy, delicious nipple. Boom. Nipple edge is right about there. Areola's a little bit right there. Yep. from there, take the base of this beautiful, beautiful nipple. Titty meets pec right there. Sloping up into this arm. Get my cast shadow because I can start to see it. We're building. Ooh, I still need to review a lot of stuff. I always forget how the armpit muscles overlap. All that juicy, delicious goodness of teres major, teres minor, and all that infraspinatus junk stuff that I can't wait to review when we get to the shoulder lesson. For now, where's my bicep? Well, more importantly, let's actually find the head. I don't think we really defined where the head is. Neckline, beautiful neckline, right there, can't miss it, direct continuation from the pit of the neck. Sternocleidomastoideus poking out right there. A little bit of that muscle popping out. And chin. Chinny chin chin. The best champion. I feel like this is a little too low now that I'm looking at it. Well, no. We found the oblique pretty close to the oblique. There's a lovely pinch right there where oblique meets, I want to say, some start of the back muscle. You kind of see it sticking out right there. I will more accurately define this section once we get to the ribcage. Okay. Something's off here. I think that's where we're a little off, yeah. The chin is a little higher than the start of the, what's the word? Deltoid. Deltoid's down here. Comparison lines. Tell me where everything is. Alright. Armpit. Pity pit. Get Icarus rising right there. Okay. Sorry, y'all. I hate to be gross. Alright. Okay. Literally most of this is just micro adjustments to add to that gesture. This comes in a little more abrupt. Adding a bit more of that swing to her leaning. There's the pit of shadow right there. Oh yeah. Okay. Okay. I'm not really too worried about all the little mini bumps. I just want to make sure we're landing in the right place. You can actually see a little bit of sneak cheek. There's a bit of the back cheek sneaking out a little bit there. So you can see a little bit of the Venus triangle. Very little bit of it. And most of this is just delicious soft fat just sitting on the bottom. Alright, the legs is where I get a little scared, because I definitely feel like I didn't get as much information on the legs there. Got pretty close though. Hamstring dips down here to meet that delicious, beautiful calf poking out here. You can see some of that calf shadow coming out. Okay, she's more vertical than this. She is sitting down, so I don't need to have as much curve to her knees. Still rigid enough that they hold her structure, but not to the point where they're so pliable she's not real. Sometimes you can get too wild with the gesture and it's not a believable person anymore. There's one knee. There's the other. Beautiful song. I will not interrupt this for you. Here's where we need to be careful. Foot has to come up to push this beautiful cheekage up. So we gotta connect the dots here. Inkly. Whew, okay. I think that's a lady. We were a little off on the calfage, but for the most part we found the rest of her. As long as there's enough meat poking out that you can see. You can definitely tell the areas that I'm more confident in where it's less messy. Cool. Alright. Did we get her arms in? I think enough. I'm not going to draw a hand because it's mostly covered in shadow when we're here for the ribcage. The story is with the ribcage. It's not at all because I'm scared of hands. Nope. Promise you not. I do want to find her face more properly though. You can definitely see where there's less information. I don't know things as well. That's why I need this review. If you have the luxury to still have the picture of a model after they finally stop moving, you can continue, you know, sculpting them in, but for the most part, you would have moved on by now. What's confusing me and actually helping me? Beautiful bicepage meets long stretched trapage, trapezius, and tricep. There we go. Okay, I think her head's a hair smaller. I mean, the way I drew it, it's a hair too small. She's not that petite. I just want to find her face, and then we can finally move on to the good stuff. What we're all here for is the ribcage, I know. Actually, I think this middle line is where the eyebrow line is. Guys, it's underneath that. Yeah. Sorry, one more moment. I'm sorry. She's not looking up that much. Now looking at it, I do think her head is a hair bigger. Which is why we have the ability to cheat in 2D, 3D, soft, digital art. Obviously, drawing this traditionally, you would not be able to do this, which is why it's good practice. Oh, her head's not that big. Yeah. Yeah. About there. Okie dokie. I think we can actually find the bones inside of her now. God, that's a sentence. That's sent me. Alrighty. Cool. Ah, she does have hair though. Let's give her a little bit of hair. Widow's Peak right up there. A little ponytail sneaking out. Beautiful. Find anything else? Cash shadow. Cool. I think that's all that needs to be done. Okay. Now we can actually go in here and find her ribcage. I like to find the gesture first before we build the anatomy bean around it. Again, I'm still a beginner. I'm still learning. You're welcome to tell me if I did something wrong or correct me. And I probably will say, yes, you're right. Will I change it at the moment? No, probably not. Sorry. So the nice thing I like about this blender model that I made, again, you can absolutely go buy Proko's course and get it, but I'm here to help save you money, hopefully. You can isolate all the parts of it. So, spine by itself, everything else isolated, you can move and look at it all by itself. The ribcage also has its own entire separate model that you can look at. So this divot, that's what I was really struggling with, to make sure that it actually houses the ribcage and the spine, just so. So now we're gonna actually get into the weeds a bit. And just to make sure that it's anatomically correct. Where did my head go? Give me the skull back. There we go. Alright. Already feeling way better about this gesture than the last one I did. It's maybe closer, but a little bit less accurate in the ribs and the body. And I also didn't know what bones were yet. This was just me trying to do the rest of the bones, just because I could attempt it. I feel like we got a little more gesture with this one. And she's not nearly as thick in the waist here. She's a lot leaner than that. Alright. Could probably even push her a little more, but then she'll look anorexic. Drop a timestamp real quick. Let's see. Where are we at? About 1:14 bone time. Cool. We built that a lot faster than usual. My last few videos, I was doing gesture for a while. Cool. Let's actually build this lady from the inside out. Oh, that sounds disgusting. Let's make a cadaver. Base. Gesture. I'm going to put a lock on that. Lose, I mean.
Ribcage time! Ribbage. Okay, this should be hopefully a little bit faster now that we actually have something to look at. I'm gonna move this lady over here so I can actually see what I'm doing because my right hand is covering her up. We don't need to see anything down there. Cool. Alright. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. Okay. First things first. Pit of the ribcage. Right about there. Fans out. And again, depending on the model, ribs might start out more rounded or more convex. The cartilage really depends on the person, but for this lady, it's definitely more concave. You can kind of see. I'd like to accentuate that for a little more extra detail. Now, because she's rotating, obviously, you may think the pit of the neck also rotates. The ribcage does not. It's still one solid mass. She's just twisting around it. Her muscles are stretching in this arc, but the ribs don't move. Important to remember. Ribs cannot move, only the muscles around them. You can maybe start to see the base of the ribs right here. They disappear under oblique fat, but that lovely line, you can kind of start to see where they end. Right around at this crease. Bone meets muscle. And I just like to complete this shape, just for more of an overall idea of what it looks like. Perspective is going to tell me these lines are going to congregate at some point. They're going to converge. So maybe I'll even angle this down a little more. Again, I'm not a professional modeler, so this bottom edge would be a bit sharper of an edge. But it does the job. Works for me plenty good. I'm just following the muscle surrounding it. You can see where her abs start. Ribs probably aren't that flexy, but for this lady, they sure are. I probably accentuated that curve a bit too much. It's not that intense. Now let's find the back of her. Following this angle. Oh, it's a Sonic jam. You go from Pokemon to Sonic. My windows want to let in some sunshine. They keep throwing their glare at me. I promise I won't sing. My sick body won't make it good. But if I do, I have to mute. Sure does. I'll blast this for you, chat. Unless you have questions, I'll probably be a little quieter just for you. I know you don't mind. I'm not offended. Sonic the Hedgehog, teaching us young kids to run away from your problems. Such a good lesson. With a grain of salt, of course. If you ever have time to worry, then run. Take a guess and say this all is bone. 1, 2, 3. So it would line up right against this lovely wall. Sorry, not sorry. Alright, let's take a look. Okay, I think that's a ribcage. Perhaps, what do you think? Let's get a little bit more of a defined front plane in here. Oh, Sonic to Mario Odyssey. Right on the edge. Alright. Yep. Okay, that feels pretty decent to me. If I wanted to make this a bit more of an angled, just for a cleaner, more defined look. Now, the one thing I did want to add also, they don't mention this in the free lesson, but I will drop a hint that you can totally look up later yourself. The manubrium, the front plane, this is a 3-part angle. It should be split 3 ways. So, top of the manubrium, I always forget what it's called. I don't remember. Look it up. Body of the manubrium is slanted, and then the xiphoid, the bony thing that sticks out at the bottom of your ribcage, there's a little bit of a sword-like stick that pops out. In fact, did I write them in your notes? We'll find out. Let's see. Opening up the notes. Nope, hang on. Where are they? Did I close the tab? Surely not. There we go. Yeah. The sternum, the manubrium, the handle! Body of the sternum. Okay, no, I was calling the whole thing the manubrium. No, I'm sorry. It's the sternum! My bad. Yeah. So, handle of the manubrium way up here. Body of the sternum, biggest part. And then the actual gladiolus, the blade, the thing sticking out of the bottom. This little pointy thing. There's a trifecta of separation in your ribcage, so also helps to know. I just put a little stick right there. Help you remember. And also help me remember. I forgot that detail myself. It's not as obvious here, so let's make that a bit more obvious, shall we? Go off, guitars. Ooh, I've been sitting too long. Body tells me to stand. I think I will stand. Ugh. It's time to stand up. Take a break and look around the room, pet a cat, pet a dog, pet your mom on the head. If they're still on this earthly plane, pet somebody. Ooh, hamstrings, hello. Ooh. Excuse me. I also need some light. Oh, dark in here. Children! We're almost done. I'm gonna wrap soon because I gotta blow my nose in the worst way and nobody needs to hear that. Okay. There we go. It's a little more obvious now. It's crazy to think now that Mario Odyssey is an old game, quote unquote, when the Switch first came out. Fossil Falls is still such a gem. Okay. Let me see. Does this still fit within our gesture? A little bit less. We can pop this out a little more. Should follow that angle somewhat. And last but not least, let's put a little rubber band around it so we know what it looks like form-wise. This is curved. Actually, my plane is... Oh, this doesn't follow my plane anymore. Well, little adjustments, little adjustments. This is my front plane. Should follow this line. There we go. This is curved. Curves all the way to the back. So next time when we come back, we'll probably do a bottom pose. That's not what I meant. A pose of the back of the ribcage, good lord. And there is also a pelvis in here. I should find it real quick. I can see a bucket. I'll give you a bucket real quick. Hang on. Pelvis. And then we'll finally call it. Connect a little spine in there. She is arcing back, so it might actually be helpful to find the spine first. Groovy. I think we've entered Sonic territory. Ooh, is this what I think it is? Hilltop Zone? Hell yeah, Sonic 2. I'll give her a spine. Yeah, we all need one. It's actually kind of hard to tell here, but I think right here, right between that and crack, you can kind of start to wait. Excuse me. Excuse me. Sorry. Ugh. How are we doing on time? 4:30. Okay. Baby's dinner time is 6 o'clock. We gotta finish before that. But I will hopefully be done way before that because I gotta go. I'm Eepy. I gotta draw a Jackenstein from Deltarune. Halloween's coming up. I would say her lumbar is very curved here. Naturally, I would also suggest the full circumference of the pelvis will tell me where the rest of it is, but I can just tell from this angle of where she's sitting from crotch to butt, right about there. I also use these hip points to tell me where the pizzas are. The front 2 points of her hips usually gives me a strong indication of where her pelvis sits. At some point, you'll be able to see underneath the skin, which is unfortunately a creepy thing that you'll never be able to turn off once you learn it. I only see skeletons now. Real helpful for drawing, but it's awful. Draw full ellipse for the pelvis. That's actually pretty close. I'm actually not mad at that pelvis. Bucket. That ellipse is not bad. By the by, this is me drawing fast, mind you. I'm not fast at all. But I'm trying to get faster. I'm here for granular detail to help us grow. Now that I look at it, the angle of that is not quite accurate. Well, actually, no, it is. I just realized this is not... Yeah, I went too low. So actually it would be a bit closer to... The back is still the same point, but the front would be about there. Maybe not. This feels natural, that feels better, but does that line up? You know what, I guess it does. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it still works. Front of the bucket is a little wider, because we a lady. She's got wide birthing hips. Bucket gets narrower as it gets closer to the butt. And the ellipse at the bottom is wider than the one in the top, because we're looking down into it. We're not doing a full-on pelvis, just to give you a bit of a general idea of where it is. Let's cut up a little bit of a bucket. Here's half of it. About a third down, we find the back of the tailbone. 1, 2, 3, so about there. Our ellipse wraps around from there to the front. From there, I found my bucket. The bucket to the buttocks. At a bit of a steeper angle because it's angled down. Again, reference the pelvis lesson to remember why. Ischium, where all the icky junk is. Sorry for all the sniffling, guys. Kinda can't help it. Okay. I'm not gonna give you a full bucket. Pelvis is in there somewhere. Do the homework to find the rest of it yourself. Let's get a rib cage and a spine connected, yeah? I mean, a spine and a pelvis I can't talk. Rib cage and pelvis connected. You know what I meant. Whew, almost there. And then I'm going to go take a nap. I'm gonna sleep. Y'all about to crash. Oh, Mario Galaxy. Good jobs. I can just get this ellipse in. Probably not that thick, the base, but it's a sizable amount. Now, where on earth does the top of the spine go? Right to the occipital points at the base of the skull. You can palpate them on yourself, where your skull meets fleshy neck. Good jam. Jam out for a second. I gotta blow my nose again. So glad you didn't have to hear any of that. Okay, we have a base making of a spine. We have a base making of a pelvis and connecting the two dots in a ribcage. Beautiful. I feel good about that. Let me really quickly just color this in so it's easier to see. I'm gonna use blue just so I can't miss it. Actually, let's do just the ribcage for now. Make that starkly colored to everything else. Full beans. Let's color in everything else. Sorry, honey, you're gonna have to go. I cannot see anymore. Obviously, this lesson's idea was to also build on your pelvis experience, haha, to make a full pelvis inside of this anato bean, now that you have the ability to do so. And you are welcome to do that, but I'm sick and tired, so I'm gonna just call it at the bucket. You can fill in the pelvis yourself, and we can talk about it next time. But for now, I think that is about it. Right at the end, it just about does it. I'm just gonna recolor these super quick. Give me that bone yellow.
It's 4:45 p.m.
Thank you.
Time to start wrapping up your workday and plan for dinner.
Sure. Nah, I'm good. But actually, yes, it is almost time for me to wrap. That should be much easier for you to see. Just to illustrate exactly what we're looking at, plane-wise. I like to just cover the front. Proko does too. I just follow his lead. Cool. Alright, I think that's about it. Is there anything else to be done? Put these underneath everything, I guess, so I can see it. doing shading. We're not doing anything of this sort. Nothing fancy like that. There we go. Now I can see what I'm looking at. Cool beans, y'all. Alright. Phenomenal! I feel like we did what we set out to do, and I am going to call it here. So without further ado, I just want to say thank you so much for anybody who stopped by. I don't know why I'm Southern all of a sudden, don't ask why. I got so much sleep to catch up on, and many more anatomy things to learn next time. So when we come back, we're going to continue doing gesture, but I'm going to try to tackle the flippy doopy thing, where I flip the model in my brain and draw the mirrored version of it from scratch. That's going to be awful and suck and be great. So check back in next time for more practice on the ribcage as well as the rest of the body. And as always, my friends, PLD, keep playing, keep loving, and keep dreaming. And I'll catch you guys next time, hopefully way less sniffly and sick and gross. Bye.